How are you good people doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing, I mean, the best you can be doing. Like, kind of picky with words. You're watching my channel, Model Renaissance Man. And I'm going to tell you right now that typically, like I always do, I wait 3 minutes to get into the subject at hand. And I'm just going to wait a little bit before we get deep into it. But hope you guys are all doing the best you could be doing or can be doing right now. It's been a lot of long night, ladies and gentlemen, long night and long days. I think, I don't know, I slept maybe, I'm not kidding, I probably slept maybe 45 minutes, if at that. I was up, just, these type of things like this make you contemplate life, things like that of the sort. I don't try to understand things like this. What I do is I went into prayer for anybody that goes out like myself, like Charlie Kirk did. I don't care who it is. If you are a public speaker, whether you are Democrat, Republican, whether you're just a public speaker, motivational speaker, doesn't matter. Just you say prayers for people, because a lot of people are really on edge. But let me tell y'all something right now, and I know a lot of my family members, y'all were really concerned and are really concerned. I'm not, and I get y'all sentiments and everything in regards to me being safe and everything like that, which is completely fine. But I'm just telling you guys right now, the speaking engagements that I have lined up, I'm still going to continue to do them. I'm not going to be silenced. I've told y'all all the time, when you grow up, and like we did, unfortunately, I had to tap into a little bit of my hood self, and some of y'all won't understand it. Those of you that are from Chicago, or you grew up around a lot of violence and things like that, you understand what I'm about to say. I had to tap into my hood numbness. And some people don't understand that, to where there's a mechanism that a lot of us grew up with. I'm not saying you guys are not capable of doing it, but a lot of us that grew up seeing violence and drive-bys and murders and killings like I did in Chicago and Decatur, Illinois, you develop this defense mechanism that won't allow you to become fearful. So I do understand what a lot of my family members, my son even got a hold of me. He's worried, but I'm not going to be silenced off of this. This is not going to scare me off. This is not going to keep me from pushing the truth out there. I'm not the one. It's just not me. Nothing scares me. Does anybody want to die? Absolutely not. But I'm not scared. I don't fear any evil, guys. This is these moments for a lot of people that so-called believe in God and they believe in Christianity in times like this, where we say things like that. I have no fear whatsoever, because I know who my God is, and I know ultimately whether no one is ever going to be ready for death, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody, I don't care. No matter how old you get and you pass away, nobody is still ready for death. Nobody is ready for their loved ones to die or pass away. But in knowing where I will be going, I have no fear. I'm not scared of debate. I'm not scared of open dialogue. I'm not scared of constructive criticism. I'm not scared. I don't fear evil. I do not fear evil. Evil fears us. Okay? Evil fears us. That's why evil did what evil did yesterday, because it fears us. Evil is so scared, it tried to silence us. Evil is so scared, it took a life, not knowing that that life is not the only voice of light. Y'all understand what I'm saying to you? Charlie Kirk, his voice is one of many voices out there, ladies and gentlemen. So no, I understand my family members. I understand Chicago. I'm not going to stop doing what I do. With that being said, it just leaves you to do a lot of contemplating, a lot of thinking. I'm not surprised that evil is doing what evil should be doing. None of us should be surprised that evil does what evil does. Okay? Now, with that being said, guys, let me go ahead and go right on into this. The latest that I have right now is that they have a person of interest, and from what I got from the sources, the image that you guys all seen on the thumbnail, that image is supposedly a person of interest. Now, what we do know so far, and what I've been told and what I've been shown, according to research and from some producers, they said it was a male. They said it was a male, and he blended in with the college students. He looked like a college student is what they're saying. He is a male. They said, of course, like the video showed, he was on the rooftop. And the part that gets me, and it's no hate towards anybody at all, but we have someone, and I'm going to show you guys when I get to my studio, we have someone that has video of a man laying down on top of the roof, and the guy even made a comment. I don't know if y'all seen this. The guy even made a comment in the video. He said the guy walked from there and he walked over there, and now he's laying down. Let me just say this. I would have thought that after seeing what happened to President Trump, that anybody that's on top of a roof and laying down at a speaking engagement, I would have thought somebody would have said something after we saw what happened with President Trump. We played that clip over and over and over again with President Trump of people saying something about the dude being on the roof and everything like that, and we saw how it was ignored. But my thing is that this individual that actually recorded that person being on top of the roof, I would have thought they would have said something, but you know what? It is what it is right now. We can't bring Charlie back. Now, the other thing I want to say is that FBI them are saying they got the person that they're looking for, as in they know who the person is that they're looking for. They know what his profile makeup looks like. And this is what they said. They said he fled from off the roof, and the words that they used were he jumped down. I don't know what they mean by that, but apparently they said he jumped down, and they have a shoe print, a forearm print, and a palm print in the dirt, in the mud, whatever. This is what they're saying. And this is the latest that I have right now, what I'm telling you guys. I'll be able to update you once I get back to my studio, and I know a lot of producers are going to reach out and give me the latest info they have too. There's a footprint, a forearm print, and a palm print that was left. They do know that the suspect fled through residential neighborhoods, is what they're saying. And they ended up finding a rifle. And the rifle that they found, they said, was a bolt action rifle. This is what they're saying right now. So, if there's anything else that I know that they're going to do, we're hoping that there's going to be a lot of people in these residential areas that have Ring cameras. You know what I mean? Hopefully, like in some of the cities that I have a residence in, they have those cameras sitting up on top of the lights. They have those cameras. And those cameras could be used to detect movement and things like that. They can just go back and look at those. But God willingly, they look at those Ring cameras, if any of those people in those residential areas have it, that way we can see a profile. And at the same time, I've seen a few videos where there were people who were recording the authorities in their backyards. So to me, whoever this individual is, if they did what they did and they went through people's backyard, then they are aware that they may be a good chance that they may be caught on Ring cameras. So they might have ran through people's backyards just so they wouldn't appear on those Ring cameras, the doorbell cameras. But hopefully somebody might have footage of this individual being in their backyard, you know. So unless you guys got a little bit more info than what I do, that is the latest that I have for right now. And it's going to be interesting to see how this pretty much unfolds. Now, I got to tell y'all this. A lot of you guys, when I respond, if you guys email me or DM me, I might at a later time look at the videos you guys all sent me in regards to the people praising Charlie Kirk's death. I really have no interest in that as of right now. Devils do what devils do. You know what I mean? It's just as of right now, I don't really have an interest in looking at individuals on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, being happy and joyous that Charlie Kirk is dead. If you're looking at things like that, I know it's going to piss you off to see things like that, to hear them say what they're saying. This man, y'all, I told y'all, after, you know, meeting Charlie Kirk and everything like that, talking with them, possibly getting ready to, you know, go on that this tour next year with them. Did y'all know that Charlie Kirk was the only child? Charlie Kirk was the only child. Parents' biggest fear. He's the only child. There's no brothers. There's no sisters to mourn him or anything like that. He's the only child. The man was just starting his life in regards to what he preached and teached in regards to starting a family. I went on a panel last night, and of course, people are right to express their opinions, express themselves. I went on a panel last night, and I was just not surprised that I heard individuals on there saying some crazy things. I can't believe y'all out here feeling for this white man. I can't believe, and this just goes to show y'all where the state of a lot of individuals' mindsets are. And a lot of these, I'm just keeping it real, they were black men. I don't understand why y'all getting upset over this white guy. Y'all don't, and see, that's what I'm saying. That lets you know the state that we're in right now, to where you instantly jumped into looking at the fact that Charlie Kirk was a white man. Who cares what color Charlie Kirk was? Because what you will end up finding is that it's a high probability that you had more in common with Charlie Kirk than you did not have in common with him. So the question was asked last night to a lot of these men on the panels that are black. They asked these black men, they said, do you believe in the nuclear family? They said yes. Charlie did. Do you believe in the man being the leader, the master of his home, the ultimate decision maker in the home? These men said yes. Charlie believed that, and he preached it and taught it. Do you believe that they should not be teaching this gender ideology bullcrap and pronoun bullcrap in our children's schools? These black men said, yeah. Charlie Kirk believed that too. Now, with that being said, because Charlie Kirk said things that a lot of you didn't agree with, you're telling me those disagreements can put you in a place where you're like, I don't care. Good. Why y'all feel for that white man? Why do y'all feel for that white man? And displaying that type of reaction proves to me that the media, social media, did their job. That proves to me that you fell for the very deception that the media wanted you to fall for, to where you don't even see nobody as a fellow American, a father. You don't see him as a father like you. You didn't see him as a husband like you. You didn't see him as somebody speaking free speech like you were freely able to praise his death like you. Yeah. This is the blessing and the curse. I guess you can call it the freedom of speech, is that you get to say stuff that people don't like. You get to say stuff that pisses people off. But for that to incite you to want to take somebody's life, for that to incite you to celebrate and praise that a man, a husband, a father, a free thinking, a person for justice, that incited you to celebrate. This goes for anybody. That's why I don't have to watch any videos on these people doing that. But I will say this. Any of those individuals that's online doing that, and you guys have told me about, thank you for showing us who y'all are. Thank you for showing us who you are. Thank you for letting your employers know that you don't care about a person getting killed live on TV for the whole world to see. And forgive me for being graphic. Thank you for showing your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, your cousins, that you are celebrating seeing a man getting shot in the neck and watching his blood gush out as he tips over. Charlie Kirk was not controversial to the extent to where it warranted this type of violence. You understand what I'm saying? I get it. Charlie Kirk was doing such things in such a ratchet, harmful way to where he made threatening remarks. He made threatening remarks to take people's lives. I understand if that, but to simply go and do something that's very traditional to America, if you know your history, going to an open debate was an American phenomenon. Okay, it was a phenomenon. It's a phenom. It was phenomenal if you was able to go to a debate. Abraham Lincoln, all these people that became presidents, they had these open debates. It's part of our American tradition. Have open debates, have crowds there. Everybody get to listen. But the one thing that is a threat to evil is truth. The one thing that is the biggest threat to evil, ladies and gentlemen, is truth. Jesus Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and light, right? Jesus Christ said, I am the truth. Jesus was the biggest threat to evil. And by being the biggest threat to evil, by not only telling the truth, but being the truth, evil can't stand that. Evil cannot stand that. Some of you that have been with me for a long time, you know what happened when I spoke out against that ideology as well. When I spoke out against them trying to teach kids this sexual disgust in the schools, when I spoke out against that, and it snowballed and it went viral, and it caused a lot of men to step up and go to these school board meetings and go to these other town hall meetings and speak up on behalf of their children with a sense of protection and masculinity. When I spoke out against critical race theory and it went worldwide, what happened to me by telling the truth? No one should associate with Ty Smith. And all of a sudden, Merrick Garland puts me on a domestic terrorist no-flight list. For what? Even if you didn't perceive what I said as being truth, I get put on a domestic terrorist list and a no-flight list because of, in you guys' opinion, the left opinion, I was just speaking my opinion, right? So my opinion, you're telling me my opinion mattered so much. My opinion was simply just an opinion. If it was only opinion that I had and it was that impactful, why was it so impactful to where I got put on a domestic terrorist list if all it was just a simple opinion? In your mind, it might be a simple opinion, but when it all comes down to it, it wasn't just an opinion. What it was the truth. It was the truth. So me speaking the truth, shining light on the darkness, got me put on a domestic terrorist list and a no-flight list. The only difference is in this, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Nobody, it's just like, it's like nobody is tired. That's what it is. Nobody, they're not tired. Even when I go and I speak up about Chicago, I say, you know what? Black people, you guys are not tired of the violence you guys are not tired of the robberies, the murders. You guys are not tired of the sexual assaults in Chicago. You're not tired of kids getting hit by stray bullets. You're not tired of that. I think people have become too complacent to where they're used to the evil. It's just a way of life now. If you were tired of it, you would do something about it. And that's why right now, the things that are going on in Chicago, and President Trump wanted to send a National Guard there, look what evil is doing. Evil is scared. What did Mayor Brandon Johnson and Governor Pritzker say? We're going to defend the land. What type of message do you think that's saying? What type of message do you think that's saying when you tell Chicagoans, the National Guard and the feds come here, we must defend the land? What do you think that's telling them to do? And then Ty, that doesn't mean anything. So if it didn't mean anything, why after that you see these dumb little thug, these young Negroes going out there with blinkies, going out there with guns, going out there with pipes? Because Mayor Brandon Johnson said if they show up, defend the land. Does that even make sense to you? You a street thug. You a thug, you a gangster. And you responded to the mayor who doesn't give a crap about you. You responded to him. You responded to him. Trump better not come here. Trump better not come here and try to clean up crime. Trump better not come here and try to get the criminals off of the streets because we waiting. So y'all fighting for the criminals to stay there. So what I'm saying that for is this. You hardly find me saying things like enough is enough. You hardly find me saying things like, when is it going to end? You want to know why? There's no point. Because you really don't want it to end. And I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen, let me make something clear right here, right now. If you've been following my channel since I've started my channel, you know, and I say it all the time, I am not for the right. I am not for the left. I am for the up. I speak at Democratic events. I speak at Republican events. I speak at all sorts of different events. Don't box me, because my number one thing that I care about is you as a human being. I care about seeing you progress. I care about seeing you grow. I care about seeing you heal. That's what I care about. Now, that other stuff that we may have some disagreements on, we don't have to talk about those things. We don't have to discuss those things. But if you know that you are the type of individual where you are so intellectually incapacitated to where you cannot disagree with someone and move on, but instead, because the truth is being told, because the truth is being spread, because the light is being shined, you don't like that light shining. You don't like that truth getting out. So your remedy is to push out propaganda, sensationalism by the way of social media, by the way of the news, to paint people in such a way to where you make them out to be the enemy, to where you make them out to be the bad guy, to the extent where it ends with people's lives being taken. When it comes down to it, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll keep on telling y'all this, when it comes down to it, this is a battle between good and evil. For some people to talk about how violent MAGA is, how violent MAGA is, you know what I'm saying? MAGA is so violent. January 6th. If Charlie Kirk had this much influence on the MAGA movement and they call him the pioneer of the big MAGA movement, which he was, why don't y'all see these January 6ers responding like they did at the Capitol? Why don't you see, since Trump's MAGA base are the violent one, Trump's MAGA base are the racist one, Trump's MAGA base are the bigoted, the misogynist, the violent ones, why don't you see any people that y'all consider to be on the right? Why don't you see them going out and blowing up stuff and burning stuff down out in the streets, tearing up stores? Why don't you see them doing any of that? Huh? Why don't you see them doing any of that? Ladies and gentlemen, to show y'all how much truth is being spewed in here, look at the Antichrists that are in the chat right now. All you gotta do is look at their comments. They showing y'all. I told y'all it's easy. They showing y'all who you are. The Cancer on a spiritual level is showing you who they are. All you gotta do is look in this chat right now. Look at the comments. Look what's being said, right? That's Cancer. But what I want to ask every last one of you guys to do right now, those of you that are about righteousness, let Cancer be Cancer. Let the trolls be trolls. Let the demons be demons. What you don't need to do is acknowledge them. Don't give them your attention. See, I'm not going to mention anybody's name in here that is a troll. I'm not going to respond to anybody in here that is a troll, because the whole purpose of what they're doing right now is to deflect, is to distract, is to change your focus off of what I'm saying right now. Why? Because what I'm saying is truth. And I told you, evil hates the truth. When the truth is being spewed out, evil hates it. That's why it's, hey, let me say something stupid and dumb so you can look at me. Hey, let me say some insults in here so y'all can look at me. Hey, don't listen to Ty. Focus on the comment I just said so you can focus on me. Say stuff to me. Argue with me in the comment section, because then you're going to be distracted away from the truth that I'm telling you right now. So any of the trolls that are in here right now that you guys are seeing, don't engage. Don't engage. Let them be. Let trolls be trolls. Let demons be demons. Let evil be evil in this chat. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not done so yet, do me a favor right now. I know if you're on your phone, double tap the screen. If you're on your computer, click the thumbs up button, because what it does, it pushes this message out in the YouTube shadow banning algorithm world. So make sure y'all do that for me if you would. Now, what I'm going to do, because I'm just chilling with y'all right now, I'm going to look and see if there's any updated information. And while I'm doing that, again, do me a favor, consider subscribing to the channel. James Frank, God bless you, and I really do appreciate the $50 super chat that you just blessed me with. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. And people do not like when I say this. The spirit of the fighting Republican Party needs to be revived. The spirit of the fighting Republican Party needs to not just be revived, it needs to be released. What do you mean by that, Ty? There were people in the Republican Party that were willing to risk their lives so that individuals that look just like me can do exactly what I'm doing right now. Speak freely, walk freely, be free. The Republicans of yesteryear who were willing to put their lives on the line, who were willing to put their reputations on the line, who were willing to be demoralized, who were willing to be disowned, who were willing to be exiled from their white families and friends and organizations. Where is that spirit at? What are you saying that for, Ty? Most people, if you're in here right now and you've been at one of my speaking engagements, you probably hearing me saying this like it's an echo chamber. You become complacent. You have become the party that says you hate bullies, but that's all you do. You've become the party that says you hate bullies, and that's all it ever is. We hate bullies, we hate bullies, we hate bullies, we hate. You never do anything. So why wouldn't they keep doing this when all you keep on doing is saying it's a bully? When I got to meet President Trump in 2020, I told President Trump I'm glad that he was able to expose the swamp. But my question to the people is this: what is the purpose of exposing the creatures after he drained the swamp if no one plans on doing nothing to the creatures that are in the swamp, only to say, look, y'all, look at the swamp. They're corrupt, they're crooked, they're this, they're that. Now what, y'all? Now what? It's time to clean house. Do it. It's time. See, guys, those of you that have been watching my channel for a long time, you know it. You know I do this. I say I will criticize. I speak up for righteousness. Y'all can throw all that other stuff out the window. Throw all that other stuff out the window. Throw all the right wing, left wing stuff. You can just completely throw that out the window. Okay? My whole thing is this. What is your plan? You understand what I'm saying to you? What is your overall plan? Because it gets to a point to where it's not enough. It's not enough to just make these remarks of they're gonna be held accountable. Do like Tom Homan does, right? Do like Tom Homan does. Take care of business, right? Take care of business and then tell us what it is that you did. Take care of business and then tell us what you did. Because too often and too long, all we hear is, this is what's about to happen. This is what's about to happen. This is what's about to happen. No, 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 no. Do it. And then tell us what you did. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? Brando Commando, appreciate you, and God bless you for the $5 super chat. Peggy Allen, God bless you, sis, for the super chat. Really do appreciate it. And Kelly E with the $19 super chat. God bless you for that as well. See, I'm in the role right now where I'm directing, right? I'm directing, oversee, and when my employees When they come to me with a problem, if they come to me with the problem, why do you think they're telling me the problem? I'll raise you another one for some of you that are fathers. Any of you in here right now? If you are a father, tell me this. Tell me this. What is the purpose of your child? What is the purpose of your child coming to you and telling you about an issue? What's the purpose? Is it so that you can tell your child, you know what? Okay, like for example, if your child has ever been bullied or picked on or anything like that, and your child comes and tell you that they're being picked on, what good is it to say to your child, you know what? You're right, son. You are being picked on. You're right, son. You are being bullied. You're right, son. What's the point of doing that? Why is your child telling you that? You want to know why? Because your child expects you to do something about it. Your child doesn't expect you just to, I'm going to announce to the world that my child is being bullied. What good is it to go, we don't stand for bullying. Bullies will be held accountable. No, your child wants to see you go and do something about the ones who are doing the bullying. So legislation, in my opinion, needs to be pushed that if anybody does anything in any way, like we've been seeing with our children being in school, being sitting ducks, why don't you want your child to be protected? Arming the teachers and staff. Oh, no. We got signs up that says, no shooting here. Shooting won't be tolerated in this school. Oh, because that sign is going to scare a demon-possessed individual. Oh, your sign is definitely going to scare those demon-possessed individuals. Your signs are going to scare those lunatics from wanting to go into a school and shoot your children up. I made a comment to a friend today. I said, isn't it amazing that animals that are considered to be prey, y'all follow me? Animals that are considered to be prey. It's amazing that when they have young children, they put their lives on the line to make sure that their children go on. We're at a point right now where I'm telling you, it's like some things I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to watch it because it's just rinse and repeat. We're going to stand up for justice. That's all y'all doing is standing. We're going to let our voices be heard. Yeah, while we steady getting shot, while we steady getting bullied, while we steady being backed into a corner. We're going to call out the wrong. Yeah, while they steady continuously do wrong to you. And this is where people get all like, man, Ty, the way I grew up in Chicago, in Decatur, Illinois, you would be in a worse position if you came back to your cousins, your uncles, your siblings like that. If you came back to the hood crying to them, hey, this dude messing with me, they will snap out on you. You let this dude punk you. You let this dude bully you. You better go back there. This is what they tell you. Better go back there and do this. Don't you ever come back to me crying about somebody bullying you. Don't you ever come back to me crying talking about somebody picking on you. You better stand up for yourself and knock it. This is when you got it in the hood. So even if you was scared, you know what was worse? Going back to your cousins, your older brothers, going back to your older uncles and telling them that somebody picked on you and bullied you. You better not go back to them and tell you that. So that's what I'm saying. I get the same type of when it comes to people who so-called stand up for righteousness, and you going back, look what they doing to us. Look what they doing, man. Y'all better learn how to hit back. Ty, are you calling for violence? You definitely do not understand the metaphor that I'm talking about. Quit letting people bully you and back you into a corner because everybody seems to have bought into this propaganda bullcrap. Quit letting people back you into a corner, being afraid to speak up, being afraid to voice your opinion, being afraid to go against the so-called grain, going against the woke, disease-minded people. Quit being afraid of it. Quit being afraid to speak your own. Quit being afraid to speak up in your own marriage. You know what I'm saying? Stop being afraid to speak up or something you don't disagree with your wife. It can go all kinds of different avenues, guys. Stop being afraid to speak your mind on any of these things for the sake. You would rather take all the damnation, take all the heat. You would rather take all of that for the sake of not wanting to speak up and say something because you don't want to cause any type of, you don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to say something and be called a racist. You don't want to say something to be called a bigot. You don't want to say something to be called a homophobic or a transphobic or anything like that. You are completely being controlled if that's the case. You're being controlled. If people can silence you, if you think that this thing that took place with Charlie Kirk is going to be a means to cause people to, let's back off, y'all. Let's back off. We might want to be, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get ready to take care of some business. Everybody that's in here right now, whether you support me or not, whether you support this or not, whether you disagree with me or not, whether you are a conservative, a liberal, whether you are a Democrat, a Republican, I don't care if you are a Buddhist, a Methodist, a Satanist, a Luciferian, I don't care what you are, right? And the reason why I say it is this, because despite of all that, I really do wish the best for you, period. I really do wish that when you go and you sit by yourself in the room, because that's who you, when you are by yourself and nobody else is around and you're left with your thoughts, that's who you really are. So with that being said, I hope and pray that every last one of you in this chat right now, whether you are a troll or not, I hope and pray that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I really do pray that every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, but most importantly of all, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.